how at Ring of Honor, I started there for free. I was going there for free, doing the paying for the seminars and, helping with the cords for the production cameras, like all this stuff. And like, people don't realize that, like, that kind of stinks sometimes, but it also gives you a better appreciation for everything that really gets put into this business that makes us look good, from the gear makers to the person in the truck who's picking the shot that makes you look either amazing or they can make your move look like, oh, that was cool, to, oh, she dead. Call it, she's dead. And to the people that, just all around, like the cameras, the fans. I don't understand this whole like stigma between wrestlers like talking down to fans, or fans thinking they know more than the wrestlers. It's like, guys, let's just be pros at being fans and come together, because I don't think I knew a single person that got into wrestling because they hated it. But I know tons of people that left the business hating it when they came into it, loving it. And that is, I think, something that you and I can both relate to. And I think almost every wrestler that's in the business at one point in time has gone through a period where they hate to love it and love to hate it. But what breaks my heart is what you're kind of touching on in that whole aspect of, not all dreams are created equal because of circumstances, and you can't really let those circumstances kind of define you or your dreams. So can you kind of do you feel comfortable kind of telling people a little bit more about what that really means? Because there's a lot of wrestlers out there that I think would really benefit from hearing something from you, because I've seen so many wrestlers, for example, and I know it's like this, but I really want to explain. There's so many wrestlers out there that I think are so successful. And they're so amazing, but they think that they aren't anything because they haven't made it to the WWE, or they haven't made it to AAA or Impact Wrestling, but they've wrestled all over the world on their own terms, getting paid to do something they love. But because they don't have a certain logo, they don't think that they're successful. So they're defining their success based on something instead of themselves and their own happiness. And I think you can really speak to them and say something, because you've been there, you've done that, you've experienced it, and you had to come out the other side being better. So can you elaborate?
I'm getting goosebumps, because that's exactly how I feel. Like, I did all these things, and every time, like, I hear you now, like, announcing me, I did this and this, but I feel sometimes so worthless. Like, it's insane. I did all these crazy things, and I have to remind myself all the time, but I don't know, it's maybe my brain. But yeah, I always thought I need WWE. I thought I need it, so the people will respect me. They say, okay, you really made it. And you know what? Right before I went to WWE, I got the offer from AEW. They were asking me if I'm interested, but like, the money was even better, to be honest. But I thought in my head, okay, sure, this is a better decision for the head, but from the heart, it would be better to go to WWE, because then everybody would respect me. But you know what? In the real world, it's not the case. Like, right now, as you know, I'm working as a security, and my colleagues, they're asking me, Jazzy, what's wrong with you? Why are you working here? You're in TV, you're in wrestling, you did this and that. Like, why are you here? And they don't understand. I'm like, we don't earn that much money. Like, when I tell someone how much money we make sometimes at the shows, they don't believe it. They're like, what? And you go there, you travel sometimes 10 hours, and then you go there, they beat you up, and then you travel back 10 hours. Like, why would you do that for so little money? And I'm like, well, I really love it. And last year, like, they took it away from me. Like, again, the money wasn't really good, and the whole experience wasn't good, and I was still afraid of my neck. Like, I had neck injury really badly, but I recovered fully from it. But still, like, when some people attack me from behind, I'm a little bit worried. I don't think that anything will happen, but you cannot be too cautious about it. I think that's the word, because we all saw what happened to Paige. It was a silly freak accident, and I had that always in my back of the mind. And some people on purpose attacked me from behind, you know what I mean? And I told them again, why did you do this? I'm like, oh, it was a mistake, but I know it wasn't a mistake, and this kind of stuff, I was like, why do we do this? Like, why do I do this? Like, I don't have a big freaking car at my house. I don't have like a big house. Like, I have absolutely nothing what the people in society would say that's successful, right? I mean, I had a lot of things in my heart, like my time in Japan. Oh my God, it was the best time of my life, you know. So I think I'm rich in a other way, but I'm not rich in the social world, you know what I mean? So that kind of makes me feel like a loser because I have to struggle so much. But yeah, when I read fan messages and everything, then I know it was all worth it. But yeah, it's a fight. It's a daily fight. Am I successful? Am I worth it? Am I not? Like, what's going on? You know, so it's a struggle, and I can understand the other fellow wrestlers if they feel this way. But I also can say WWE will not make you happy. Like, if everything that you have already makes you not happy, WWE will not make you happy too.
And I want to clarify for people that are either listening to this and or watching this. This isn't a knock on the WWE.
No.
This is the reality of the business and the reality of most of us. Like, we all have our different perceptions. Like, reality is relative because everybody has different perceptions, right? I think that's something we can all agree on, you know. But the reality that we all share within wrestling is a certain stigma, and it's a childhood dream for most people. And unfortunately, when we get into this, it's not like how we dreamed of it as a child. And we always have all of these different people telling us what this success looks like, but then when we try to go after it, it never works out the same way, and it kind of sucks the life out of childhood dreams. And that's something I said in a promo recently, and I was like really speaking from the heart because I was talking with Vicky Guerrero on her podcast, and she asked me, what would I tell somebody that wants to be a wrestler? And my first instinct, and I told her, like, my first instinct is to say, don't. And then I was like, but let me clarify. If they really, truly, this isn't something you can go into half-cocked, you know? Like, you either really, truly want it, or you kind of just, a weekend warrior. And that's okay. There's the time and a place and a spot for almost anything and anyone, right? Like, I don't discriminate. But if you don't want to be a weekend warrior and this is your childhood dream, you have to understand that it's not the way you thought of it when you had these rose-colored goggles on as a child, when you had no life experience, nothing to base anything off of. This business is geared towards children, but when you come into it as an adult, it's never going to be the way you dreamed of as a child. You know, it's like when you watch The Wizard of Oz and Dorothy goes through all of these experiences, flying monkeys and wicked witches and all this like crazy stuff, and she finally gets to the Emerald City. She finally gets to meet the great and powerful Oz, right? And he's a jerk. He's mean. He's sarcastic. And then when Toto lifts the curtain and you look behind the curtain, it's just a man on a keyboard. And to me, that is what professional wrestling is. And I say it all the time, and I'm going to continue until it sinks in with more people, because I don't want more people leaving this industry that I love feeling the way you felt, the way I have felt, the way Deonna Purrazzo has recently been talking about how she felt, the way so many people feel. And it's not just the WWE, it's the wrestling industry as a whole. You have to be happy with your own success and yourself before you can be happy anywhere else. And that's like the hardest thing to do when you have everyone judging you, nitpicking you, bullying you, trying to knock you down so they can have your spot. I think you can relate, where it's like really hard to kind of love yourself and keep perspective when it's like you're trying to get to the Emerald City, and then you get there and you're like, I did all of this for this?
yes.
For $50 a night, and, you know, breaking my bones and what can you say is the biggest takeaway for you? Because I can tell you have so much love for this, and I can hear it when you're speaking. What is your biggest takeaway from all of these experiences? I mean, you've been to Stardom, you've wrestled all over Europe, you've gone to TNA, you've gone to the WWE, you did NXT UK. I mean, you've wrestled with all these amazing women. I mean, Kyoko Kimura, I mean, come on. You've done some amazing things all over the world. You are successful. You have so many things to be proud of. And the fact that you are being so candid about struggling, I want more people to hear this, because I think if more people get on these conversations, you will be a part of someone else's survival guide. So what keeps you going? What is it that drives this love of yours to make you still want to feel like your dreams matter?
Yeah, I mean, first I want to say what I would have done differently. So if I would have if I could have the chance to start all over again, I would definitely be more confident. Like seriously, so many people put me down where they were not in the right position to do so. So I wish, like, even when I went to TNA, right, I was so shy. I was like, do I do the right thing? You know, like I was always dugging my head instead of standing tall and say, hey, I'm proud, I'm this person. Okay, I'm maybe not as sexy as you, Taylor, but but I'm different, and this makes me unique. So I wish I would have been more confident. But from all of this, I have amazing fans. Like I have these, I think it's like 5 really hardcore fans that write me every day. So I gained that for sure. And some people maybe know my story. I'm adopted child, so I don't have a family. But when I went to Japan, I meet this amazing woman and this husband. Like he's a wrestler, Masahiro Chono, and his wife. They adopted me, so they're my family now. And we meet twice a year. We spend Christmas together, and this is like my love, And I don't want to disappoint them. I know they believe in me, so I want to keep going. But also, I personally think there's so many things wrong in this business. And I just try to make it a little bit better. That's why, for example, start my own promotion.
Yes.
Because, yeah, I wanna put my dream, how I see wrestling, how I want it to be. I want to put it on stage. And with my experience, as you say, I have done all this. I hopefully can, tell people and investors, I can tell them, hey, look, I have experience. I've done all these things. And now please believe in me. And then let's just have this amazing project going on. So that's what keeps me in this business.
You're a part of the change, which so many people need to hear about this, and they need to understand that you're either part of the problem or the solution. And I'm so proud to talk with people like yourself, because you're going to be a part of the solution. You're not just sitting back and waiting for your time to be done in the sun. You're actually saying, like, no, I'm going to put some sunblock on. I'm going to get ready because I'm going to blast y'all before I get a sunburn. You know what I mean? I'm going to be a part of the change and make a difference. And I love